Hello, advisors, and good morning or good afternoon, depending on where you're joining us from today. Welcome to today's webinar, Travel Insurance for a Changing World, Get Your Business Ready for the Coming Year. My name is Clark Hertz, and I am the Senior Coordinator of Business Development at ASTA. And as many of you know, I am also our webinar organizer. We are happy to welcome today's presenter, Sharon Burrow, Vice President of USI Travel Insurance Services. As Vice President of Travel Insurance Services, Sharon is responsible for the national execution of strategies and formation of business relationships promoting travel insurance sales and company growth in the tour operator, cruise line, and travel agency marketplace. Before we get started with Sharon's amazing presentation, I would like to point out a few important features on your screen that will allow you to interact with us today via the web. I do apologize if you have already heard this before, because you've joined us for another webinar, but we will be answering all your questions at the end of this presentation. To ask a question, you will use your GoToWebinar pane. Near the bottom of this pane, there is an area that says questions. If you click the arrow next to where it says questions, this will open up a window pane that you will be using to communicate with us. If you're having trouble hearing this presentation, please make sure that your speakers are turned all the way up. And if you've called in, please try hanging up and dialing back in. You can send me any technical questions via this questions pane, and I will try to answer them via the same pane to the best of my ability. Please also note that all audience members are muted. We certainly want to hear from you all, but with so many advisors on today's call, background noise would prove to be prohibitive, and we want to ensure that everyone can hear the entire presentation. Please remember, on today's webinar, 4 lucky attendees will win a $50 gift card courtesy of USI. You must be on this presentation from beginning to end, and you will announce the winner live after our Q&A session. Finally, please note that this webinar is being recorded and will be available for on-demand viewing at asta.org by the end of the week. Now, without further ado, it is my pleasure to turn it over to Sharon.
Thank you very much for that introduction. I certainly appreciate it. And I, too, would like to welcome all the ASTA travel advisors today to our travel insurance webinar. So thank you very much. Let's get started. A little bit about USI Travel Insurance Services in the event that you may not have heard of us. Our company was established in 1973, and we are headquartered in Philadelphia, PA, where we have our call center located too. We are a national insurance agency and brokerage firm, and as she stated earlier, we specialize in various segments of the travel industry. This year, we introduced our travel agency program, which has been well received. We have always had programs for our fellow partners, the tour operators, and alumni travel associations. So we are not new to the travel insurance space. We've been there, but perhaps you may not have heard of us. So I thank you for joining us to learn more. We have quite a comprehensive travel insurance portfolio to present today. And as I said, our call center is in Philadelphia, and we have access to several various languages that our customer service representatives speak, who can help you and your clients with their questions. Okay. Just a snapshot of who USI is. USI is a very large insurance brokerage company. We're the 7th largest in the world. We are owned by KKR, the largest private equity company in the world. And perhaps you may have heard of a few of the brands that KKR also owns, like USI Travel Insurance, Apple Vacations, Lyft, and Travelopia, which was formerly 2E Travel, and they have multiple brands under their umbrella. So you're in very good company if you do choose to offer the USI Travel Insurance Program. Okay, so the program is a win-win for everyone, as you know. And at this time, during this year, during this situation that we are all experiencing, we are looking for various avenues to bring in new revenue. So with USI, you sell one of our programs, you earn a commission. No ifs, no ands, no buts. Okay? I love this snapshot. I love this slide. And as was earlier stated, this PowerPoint presentation will be available for you through ASTA. So you don't have to take copious notes on jotting everything down on this slide. But this is a great slide to share with other professional travel advisors in your offices who perhaps could not attend today. This is based on an average commission of 22% for our two programs, Classic Plus and Premier. And as you can see, the top part is just based on a passive travel advisor, travel agency offering travel insurance. The example shows the number of customers, average trip cost, average travel insurance premium, and then what we call the participation rate on the blue line, say 7% of the 1,428 clients purchased travel insurance. That would just be 100 passengers. So there is your commission that you earned from those sales, a little over $4,600. Now, as opposed to the bottom half of the slide where it shows that you are an educated and trained travel advisor, that you know how to offer travel insurance, you know how to promote it well, you know how to close a sale, the same numbers, but with a participation rate on the blue line of 50%. Look at the difference between the earned commission revenue from a passive to an active, educated, and trained travel advisor. The difference is over $28,000 in earned commission. I know that a lot of us need this type of income to be coming into their offices now. So keep this in mind when you offer travel insurance to your clients. So the travel agent insurance program that's offered through USI offers you 3 different programs. They are all the same programs in all 50 states, Puerto Rico, and the District of Columbia. I emphasize this because with some other companies, it may not be this way from what I've heard from many of you. So the 3 programs that we are going to discuss today, Premier, Classic Plus, and Air Ticket Protector, is available to your clients who reside in all 50 states, Puerto Rico, and the District of Columbia. Same benefits, same pricing. Okay. So this is just a snapshot of the travel protection plan benefits. It'll show you the benefits beginning with trip cancellation all the way to the bottom, which includes our 24/7, 365 assistance services as part of every policy. The 3 plans that you would be able to offer to your clients is Premier, Classic Plus, and the Air Ticket Protector. So what's the big difference between all 3 of these? Well, with Premier and Classic Plus, it is a true comprehensive travel insurance program, including trip cancellation and trip interruption, and the most sought after coverage, cancel for any reason. And then as you proceed down, you will notice the differences between Premier and Classic Plus are in what the coverages are. So let's go down to baggage and personal effects as an example. Under Premier, the client would be covered up to $2,500 per person on baggage and personal effects, as opposed to Classic Plus, only up to $1,000, and Air Ticket Protector up to $500. On emergency medical evacuation, which I believe is one of the most important benefits of a comprehensive travel insurance program that you can offer. On both the Premier and Classic, it is $500,000, and on the Air Ticket Protector, that type of benefit is not offered. So those differences in benefits on each of these 3 programs drives the pricing of the premium per person, and according to their age too. Okay. We do have the pre-existing condition waiver, which is the second line from the bottom on this graph, and it can be included. Certain restrictions apply. So you would have to refer to the policy on that. Okay, so let's get into the CFAR, because that seems to be the most important coverage that I'm hearing about this year as a result of what all of you and your clients have experienced earlier this year at the beginning of the pandemic. And I believe it's still going on, because this is just like a rolling situation with tours being changed, dates being changed, postponed to next year and beyond. So if you're new to the industry, CFAR is an acronym for Cancel for Any Reason. It's always available as an upgrade in Premier and Classic Plus plans if you meet the requirements. So why should you upgrade to this? It offers your clients the utmost flexibility and financial security for their trip, because it allows them to cancel their trip for any reason that's not a normal insurance reason. Without CFAR, your plan includes a trip cancellation benefit on the basic plan, but the client must cancel their trip for one of the coverable reasons. So as you know from experience, many of your clients were surprised to find out that their trip cancellation plan was not valid due to COVID, or you could not cancel due to fear of traveling. But those that had the CFAR coverage did indeed have a better option in order to make a claim and recover some of their money. So how do I upgrade my plan to CFAR? Well, all the upgrades must be done at the time that you purchase the travel insurance policy. So we're talking initial deposit date here. And you must purchase the two plans that offer this upgrade, which is Premier or Classic Plus, and it must be purchased within 14 days of your initial trip deposit to be eligible. You must insure all the prepaid non-refundable trip costs. And if you're doing an FIT, as the trip proceeds in the booking process and your clients wish to add on different components, pre, post, sightseeing tours, whatever component, and they want to insure the value of those on their policy, those must be insured within 14 days of making those additional arrangements in order to maintain the CFAR coverage. So that's kind of rule of thumb. That's the way it's been for many, many years. And I've been in this industry a very long time, and since the beginning of CFAR. So it's been the average. There's not been too much change in that respect. So if the clients have a comprehensive travel insurance plan with the CFAR upgrade, what happens if they want to cancel their trip and put in a claim for CFAR? Well, first, they must cancel with their travel organizer, meaning you, the professional travel advisor, at least 2 days before your scheduled departure to be eligible. Please obtain something in writing from the supplier that you booked your client's trip with, the cruise line, the tour operator, any of the destination management services that you may have used if it was an FIT that you put together, and then contact the sales support number or the plan claims administrator to file the claim. So it's very easy. Okay? And I must tell you, and you can see it on the screen, that CFAR, Cancel for Any Reason, is not available to residents of New York State. That is not USI telling you this and restricting the coverage. It is the Department of Insurance in New York State. It is not only USI, it is every single other insurance company. This is just their regulation for residents of New York State. So cancel for any reason, upgrade. If you want to cancel your trip, as I said at the beginning, you can do that outside of the normal coverable reasons on the policy. And you can put in a claim for up to 75% of your prepaid non-refundable trip costs. So it's all good. The requirements that the client must provide for cancel for any reason eligibility would be As I stated earlier, they must purchase Premier or Classic plans, Plus plans, and add the CFAR upgrade within 14 days of initial deposit date. So if I was your client and giving you initial deposit today, September 23rd, for a cruise for December 2021, I would have to purchase my travel insurance program with the CFAR upgrade within 14 days of today, and the clock is kicking today. Today is day one. I would have to insure all my prepaid trip costs that are subject to any cancellation penalties or restrictions, and also insure within 14 days, as I said earlier, the cost of any additional arrangements that are added to my trip. If I chose to cancel my trip due to the cancel for any reason benefit, I must do it at least 2 days or more prior to my scheduled departure date, and make certain that I obtain all of this in writing, so that when it comes to the claims process, it'll be easier for the client, it'll be easier for the claims adjuster. Everything will be in order and documented. Okay, so just some general plan guidelines on this slide. And I won't read everything, but I do want to point out a couple of important observations here. On the third line, it says maximum trip cost. On the basic travel insurance program, the maximum is $25,000 coverage per person. If the client chooses to buy the CFAR upgrade, the maximum coverage per person for their trip is $10,000 per person. And I know some of you have signed up with me already, and you've come to me with several of your clients that said, well, you know, I need coverage higher than this. Don't worry about it. I can assist you with that. We'll go to a different program. I will make certain that you close the sale on travel insurance and earn commission. Okay. The line above it is the maximum age, 85. So if you have clients that are older than that, we could probably find something else for you to offer to them. Okay. Also notice the prohibited destinations, the rogue countries, as we like to call them in our industry: Iran, Sudan, North Korea, Crimea. So keep that in mind, and clients probably would not want to travel there anyways. Okay, so these are the general guidelines. They are available to you as you access the travel agent portal to sell the travel insurance. They're available on the website, so you will have them very visible to you if any questions should arise, or you can always call the customer service representative to discuss with them. Okay, so what do I earn when I'm set up to sell the USI Travel Insurance Program? Well, on the Premier plan and the Classic Plus plan, which are the two plans that offer the CFAR upgrade benefit, you will earn 22% commission. And on the Air Ticket Protector plan, it is 10% commission. Now, we are a little different than some other companies in the respect that if you sell it in the travel agent portal, you earn these commissions in front of you. If you or your client calls our customer service line to ask questions and then say, well, can I just buy my travel insurance policy now? We will take the sale. We will probe the client, if it is them. Who is your travel advisor? Do you know their account number? So that we can make certain that we will pay you this exact same commission on a phone sale. We do not deduct points on phone sales from your client calling us or you calling us. When I get to the screenshot, I'm going to show you a very important place where your account number must be inserted. And that's always good to tell your clients to. If they say, well, I'm going to call the customer service line and ask them some questions. So try to nip it in the bud ahead of time. We do pay our commissions monthly on or about the 15th of the month for sales from the previous month. So the sales support, as I mentioned earlier, we are open very extensive hours for the travel agency program, and there is a toll-free number that you or your clients may call, and that is located on the screen here, 866-477-6741, press option number 4. And they are licensed customer service insurance agents who can answer your question or your client's question and accept a sale also. So what does the portal look like? We've put a few screenshots in here to give you an idea of how easy it is. So the first page that would come up is to get a quote. This would be for you, the travel advisor, to go in because you have access and begin the process of selling the travel insurance policy for your client. So basic information that we need to capture, you know, what's the departure date, what's the return date, when's the initial trip deposit date, the name of the traveler, the cost, and the date of birth. So all important information, the state of residence. So please fill everything in. You can't proceed to the next screen if you've neglected to fill in one of the fields. Okay. So this will take you to the next screen. And again, it will ask for state of residence, which in the insurance industry is extremely important since we are regulated by each state's Department of Insurance, and the plan name that you wish to offer to your client. Again, capturing the travel information and the trip cancellation for any reason, optional coverage. So you can include it or exclude it before you go to calculate the quote. Okay. Now, as I stated earlier, on this screen here, we have highlighted a field called tracking code. So what does that mean? Well, that's where you will put in the USI account number that we've given to you for your travel agency. This is how we track sales on behalf of your agency, and this is how we pay commission for those sales. If you neglect to put in your account number there and you proceed, then we won't be able to pay you commission unless you come to me after you get your commission statement and you say, well, I know these clients took the insurance, you know, I booked it. So I will be happy to research it for you. We don't like to withhold earned commission from a travel advisor. We are true partners with you, and I more than anyone realize this because eons ago, I began my career as a travel agent and travel agency manager, just like many of you. So I still carry those empathetic feelings from the other side of the desk as part of the partnership relationship that I have with you. Okay. So this will take you to the payment information. You're probably familiar with many of these portals, you know, with all various suppliers. We capture basically the same information. So please have this at hand when you are entering the portal to book a travel insurance sale by credit card. Okay. So after you complete the sale, what do you see? This slide will show you, again, the schedule of benefits of the travel insurance plan that you have selected and agreed upon for your client. And it will show the policy information, your travel agency name, your name, and actually the commission earned on that already. And then under travelers, we'll show exactly who the travelers are and any endorsements at the bottom. So you've completed the sale. What happens next? We send the policy fulfillment directly to the client and then record that the sale came from your travel agency. And on the 15th of each month, we will send you a commission statement and a commission check. We will provide to you marketing flyers to assist you in presenting the travel insurance program to your clients. It comes as a PDF. You can see it's quite colorful and eye-catching. And at the bottom of the second part of the flyer, it says, contact your travel agent today for a free quote or to buy your plan. We do list the customer service representative number down there. So if you or your clients call in to book the sale, it will be accepted. And as long as we have your account number, we will pay you commission. Okay. So this is a great screen for two reasons. Number one, it shows the scope of our country, our wonderful country. But number two, it shows you that all the states that are in green fall within the travel insurance licensing regulation, which means that if you sell to residents of any of these 48 green states, you don't need to be licensed, that you fall within under the USI licensing registry. However, if you want to sell travel insurance to residents of the two states in yellow, which are New York and Hawaii, then you would have to hold a limited travel insurance license in your own state first as a resident, and then take that license and seek a non-resident limited travel insurance license in those two states if you wanted to sell to residents of those states and earn a commission. Okay, it's not us telling you that this is the only way that it can be done. It's the way these two states have regulated licensing. And hopefully one day these two states will turn to green and we will not have this licensing situation. So if you have any questions, you can call me or email me, and I'll be happy to discuss this with you. Now, the previous programs that we reviewed are for U.S. residents only and available in the travel agent portal. The next few plans that I'm going to present to you are a little bit different in scope. Some of you may have clients who are residents of Canada, and those clients have inquired about purchasing a travel insurance program through you because they're booking their trip through you. Well, now you can offer them a travel insurance plan and earn commission. With the Canada plans, there are 3 different types of programs. I'm not going to go through them. You can see that the screenshot, the printing is very small, but you can always contact me if such a program is of interest to you. We also have a plan for residents that are outside of North America, so what we call ROW, rest of world. So if you have a client who is a resident of Argentina, as an example, and they're booking their tour with you because they're meeting some U.S. friends that are going on the same tour, and they ask you, well, can I buy travel insurance for you? Yes, you can offer them a travel insurance plan now and be paid commission. So please keep this all in mind. It's just another avenue to earn additional revenue, but also offer great protection plans to your clients. Another plan that we are offering to you, the travel advisors, because several of you have inquired about it, is the Voyager annual plan. Now, this could be for yourself or to offer directly to your clients. It is designed for the frequent traveler, and it covers you anytime you are 100 miles or more from home on a covered trip with a scheduled departure and return date. There are 2 different plan levels, the silver and the gold, and on both plans, they include basic coverages like baggage loss and delay, the sickness medical expense, emergency medical evacuation, which again, I believe, is one of the most important benefits in a travel insurance policy now, because most of us don't have this type of coverage on our own personal medical insurance. And as you know, when clients who are on Medicare leave the U.S., they have no coverage. Okay? So the Voyager plans do not offer coverage for trip cancellation or cancel for any reason, so please keep that in mind. And on the Gold plan, it does include some trip interruption, coverage for airline ticket change fee, and political evacuation and natural disaster. And have we seen a lot of natural disasters lately? The premium for the Silver plan is based on age, and it starts at $93 a year. And the Gold plan is a flat $332 annually for any age. So if you're interested in this program, you can contact me and I will email you the information. The commission on this program, whether it's you purchasing it or you're selling it to your clients, is 10%. So again, if you want to offer any of these plans, the travel agent program for Classic, Premier, and Air Ticket Protector, for the Canada plan, the International plan, or the Voyager annual plan, you may contact me, Sharon Brew, and the email is on the screen. It's sharon.brew@usi.com. I am based in Atlanta, Georgia. I have national responsibilities for North America. My phone number is 770-905-4065. So I hope that I may hear from many of you in reference to any of these plans. Now, this is the time that you take over the presentation and you ask us any questions, and hopefully we can get them answered today. And if not, I'll be happy to connect with you personally.
Perfect. Thank you so much, Sharon, for that amazing presentation. We do have quite a few questions that have already come in, so let's go ahead and jump right into them. So we have an advisor wondering what sets USI apart from other vendors of travel insurance. I know you briefly touched on this during your presentation, but if you could just let us know one more time.
Well, I think the big difference is, and everybody says this, but we truly are committed to it, is our high level of customer service. And it really showed up during the pandemic. I think we were placed above many of our competitors, as I've heard from new business coming in. And also recently, we were named the 3rd top travel insurance company by Forbes. So that was quite an honor. Also the fact that we are one of several companies still offering the CFAR benefit upgrade.
Thank you so much for that answer, and congratulations on that amazing accolade from Forbes. Our next question is going to be, do you offer a travel advisor annual coverage plan?
The only annual plan that we offer was the Voyager plan. So if you look at that carefully, or if you call me or email me, I'll be happy to get that brochure to you.
Thank you so much. It looks like we have another advisor here asking, how do we get to the travel advisor portal?
Okay, here is the initial step. The initial step is that you contact me and express your interest to be signed up for our program. I will email you an agreement. We do not request an exclusivity from you. We realize that you have to offer the best programs to your clients, in the way of cruise lines, tour operators, hotels, car rentals, and also travel insurance programs. So we don't ask for exclusivity. After you sign the agreement, I will provide you with access to the portal and give you your login credentials, and then you will be all set up. It is so easy.
Thank you, Sharon. It does sound very easy. Looks like we have a few advisors wondering this question. Do your comprehensive policies include the cost of quarantine? If yes, is there a limit?
Yes, it does include quarantine, and the limit would be according to the benefits on the policy, which you can refer back to one of the screenshots there. Also, if someone reaches out to me directly, and I'm famous for this, I've done this my whole career. I actually go to the policy and I'll copy and paste it and email it to you about any specific coverage. Mm-hmm.
Going back to the last question that I had asked, Do the Voyager plans include trip cancellation? And if not, can that be added on per trip?
Okay, as I'm going to go back to that screenshot. Is my screen still showing?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, I'm going to go back to, where am I going to get to that? Oh, this is going to drive you all crazy. He's showing you this. Okay, here's the Voyager annual plan. Please note on bullet number 3, the Voyager plans do not offer coverage for trip cancellation or cancel for any reason. So if you would like a plan with cancel for any reason, then you really should buy one of the comprehensive travel insurance plans, the Premier or Classic Plus. And of course, those are for one trip only. So I hope that answers your question.
Mm-hmm. That did. It actually helped to answer a few of them.
Good.
Can the insurance be purchased for the deposit amount only and then up to the coverage once the final payment is made? If yes, does that meet the 14 purchase requirement for CFAR and pre-existing medical conditions?
In order to have the CFAR upgrade benefit and to waive the pre-existing conditions, you must insure the entire amount of your trip for all non-refundable cancellation penalties.
Perfect. Thank you so much, Sharon.
Mm-hmm.
Moving on, what about world cruises that are longer than 90 days?
Okay, in that respect, as I mentioned on a few of the restrictive levels earlier, you could reach out to me and I could find you a different product, a different plan to offer to your client. Okay? USI is very well versed in this area of longer trips, clients who demand more. If I may state at this time, one of our really good clients is National Geographic Expeditions. So we are accustomed to dealing with this niche space within the industry that travels for longer durations and requires higher levels of coverage. So please reach out to me as an insurance broker. We have this ability to find you coverage for this type of trip and pay you commission.
All right, going off of that question, Sharon, we have some advisors that are looking to make sure that they're understanding clearly. So they're understanding that you are a broker for other insurance companies, and such as Allianz, for example.
No, that is incorrect. What we are is we are a broker, and all our programs are written with our carrier partners. Allianz is not one of our carrier partners. This particular program, the travel agency program with the Premier Classic Plus and Air Ticket Protector, our carrier partner who underwrites these programs is Star Insurance Company.
And are you considered a primary insurance policy?
Yes.
Thank you. Let's see what other questions we have here for the good of the group. Max age you had stated is 85. Is that at the time of purchase or at the time of travel?
At the time of purchase.
Thank you. Are advisors able to make changes to the policy on the website, or do they need to call in to make those changes?
They would have to call in to make those changes.
All right. Does the global insurance plan include travelers traveling from the UAE region?
On the international plan, it's the Global Travel Care 360, yes, from UAE.
Perfect.
The only area that we seem to be having a challenge with right now, and we feel that will be resolved soon, is for travelers in the UK. And it all revolves around Brexit. So you have to bear with us in that respect. Mm-hmm.
I think that we can bear with you, Sharon. Thank you.
Okay.
Are there any policies that offer children's fee or discounted with parents?
No, we do not have any policies like that.
Do you have any premium cost comparisons to other companies?
No, we do not furnish those.
Thank you. Can the client portal for our agency be customized to include an agency tracking code so that it does not have to be applied to each booking?
The way that the portal is set up, we establish an account number for the travel agency, and then each travel advisor within that travel agency is given their own set of unique login credentials. And in the administration part of the portal, you can go in and see who's been selling according to their login credentials.
Mm-hmm. Perfect, thank you.
Mm-hmm.
Our next question is going to come from a few different advisors. Is the commission paid on the international plan?
Yes, commissions are paid on the international and the Canada plan, and I'm sorry that we didn't put that on there, but commissions on those two plans are 15%, 15%. On Voyager annual plan, it was indicated on there for 10%.
Thank you. Back to your portal. Does the portal permit advisors to quote classic versus premium? It looks like we have an advisor saying this makes it very easy to present to clients.
Yes, there is a comparison in there, and it has the feature where it will save the quote.
Perfect. You had spoke a little bit about New York and its restrictions. So we have an advisor here who I'm assuming lives in New York, who wants to know what's required to sell your brand of travel insurance in New York.
If you are a travel advisor located in New York State, then you would have to have a limited travel insurance license. If you do not have one, we can assist you with direction to the link that you could apply for one. Now, if I may make a note at this time, this talk of licensing may be new to a lot of the ASTA travel advisors because you may work with a host agency. Mm-hmm. And if you do, and you've never heard of licensing before and never had to be concerned with it, and you're selling a travel insurance program to your host agency, it is because somebody in that host agency headquarters is licensed in all 50 states. So that is why licensing is so important to know about, particularly since most of you are small business owners, and maybe you're not affiliated with a host agency or a consortia. But as you could see on that licensing map, 48 of the 50 states, you don't need licensing. So hopefully that'll help the majority of you. I know New York's a big state, but we can't control their insurance department.
Unfortunately, you cannot, just like we cannot control the unfortunate circumstances that we're in right now. So we all understand that. Next question we have, are policies the same cost if the client purchases through their travel agent?
Yes, I believe I touched on that earlier. The policies are the same if the travel agent sells through the portal or if the travel agent or the client calls the customer service line, the toll-free number. And the policy, the premium, recall, are the same for all 50 states, the District of Columbia, and Puerto Rico.
I do recall you saying that, so thank you so much for reiterating. Does your company offer a travel training class?
Yes, we do, and we can have a webinar. We do this a lot with our other niche areas of the travel industry, like with the tour operators or the alumni travel associations. So we will have webinars, or as I just did on Monday afternoon of this week, I had a webinar specifically for one account for their program. So I'm happy to arrange that, and I believe that training is the best thing that you could be doing now, and learning more about travel insurance, because it is such an important product in our industry now. And going forward, as you reboot your industry and the restart button is hit, your clients will be asking for cancel for any reason. So training, training, training. I love to do it. I believe in it. It does help everyone.
And thank you so much for giving our advisors that amazing offer of private training as well. That is super helpful. I know for me personally, when I can get in and kind of get my hands dirty and see how things work, it always makes understanding a lot easier.
Absolutely.
Next question we have is regarding assistance for travelers or sales support. So is there a personnel available for assisting travelers or advisors 24/7? And along those same regards, would there be an email?
The 24/7, 365 assistance service, all that information is provided to the client in the policy for fulfillment packet that's emailed to them. And if the travel agent would like a copy of that, I would be happy to provide it to them.
Perfect. Thank you so much. What is the amount of the program fee?
Do you mean the commission?
I think that maybe this advisor does mean the commission. Melissa, if you are referring to commission rather than program fee, please feel free to write in. I will give her a second to clarify if that is correct. It looks like we have another lady who just again asked about training, and I will go ahead and reiterate for Sharon that there is training, and she is also happy to do personalized training with a group as well. Melissa has typed back, and I think she was referring to commissions. She says that her question has been answered, and thank you so much.
Oh, wonderful, Melissa. And just backtracking on the training, when you do sign up with USI to offer our travel insurance programs, you will receive a user administrative guide also. That will be a PDF that will be emailed to you. So you'll have something that you can put on your computer, or you can print it off and have hard copy if you still like to have paper in front of you. So we try to cover all bases in that respect.
Perfect. That is definitely helpful. It looks like our next question is going to be, will the insurance pay the hospital directly if hospitalized, or does the client need to pay and then they get reimbursed?
It depends on the situation, and that would be between the assistance company that is assisting them while they are in the hospital or seeking medical coverage. So we do not, our belief is we do not leave somebody stranded. We do not leave them with expenses, particularly when they're in such a dire situation. So that is something that you do not need to worry about, that the assistance company, of course, has lots of experience, and they would pay forward if it had to be paid forward. Now, if your client is going to just, maybe they have like a bad cold or a stomach flu or something, and they're just visiting a doctor, payment for something like that would be made on the spot, and then you would come home and put that in as a claim and submit the bill for it. But in dire medical situations where hospitalization is involved, no one will be stranded.
Thank you so much, and that is definitely great news to hear. Looks like our next question is going to be, what happens if a trip is canceled for any reason, and then after that, a covered reason applies?
That would be a situation that would be handled in the claims process between the claims adjuster and the client. And that is like one of those famous what-if questions that I remember as a travel agent. And I always tell travel advisors, when you get what-if questions, hand them off to the proper authorities. And allow us to do our job. So that would be handled during the claims administration. They would have to look at dates when a trip was canceled or whatever, if it was a medical situation, whatever the reason was. So I can't give you a straight answer because it would all depend on what type of documentation is being provided in the claims process.
Thank you so much for that answer. It looks like we have a few more questions left for the good of the group before we jump into our very anticipated prize giveaways. Are premiums for air traffic protector on travel cost only, or is age a factor as well? If the cost only if it's cost only, is there an easy, quick percentage that advisors can use?
In the air ticket protector plan, the air ticket cost is approximately 4.5%, and with a $14 minimum premium. And that is, of course, calculated in the portal. So as I said before, you can always go into the portal and seek a quote. It will say that you can email it to your clients if they're interested in that. But the premium is 4.5% of the air ticket cost.
Sharon, I must say you are absolutely killing it answering these questions, because honestly, sometimes I don't even know what I'm saying to you. Let's see, next question. A client, it looks like one of her advisors has a client that they do business travel, and they've done it for years, and they're wondering if there is a plan that they can offer them yearly.
Well, I would have to revert back to the Voyager annual plan. And as you know, there's no trip cancellation benefit on those programs. So just depending on what the need is for the business traveler. Now, I can tell you at this point, and I don't know when it will be implemented, we are working on a business travel accident plan. So if that travel advisor would like to email me, I'll keep you on my follow-up list when that program does come out. So how does that sound? Is that fair enough?
I think that is definitely fair. It looks like we have 2 more questions here before we go ahead and do our giveaways. One is a little bit more personal, but just because we have time, I'm going to ask it anyway. It looks like this advisor has agent insurance, but when they book with vendors, the vendors tell them that if they're traveling with other travelers, they need to be added.
Okay, so this particular travel advisor already has an annual travel insurance plan in effect.
Yes.
Is that what she's saying? And that if she is traveling with family members or with traveling companions who do not hold such a plan, that they would be required to have a travel insurance policy of their own for coverage. That is correct.
Perfect. And lastly, this question is pretty interesting to me and probably for the good of the group. How did you all at USI handle cancellations during COVID?
Well, I must tell you that I think that we really rose above some of our competitors. I've been in this business a long time, and I can tell you quite frankly that this COVID-19 situation this year is the worst that I've ever seen in my career, which started in the travel insurance and global assistance back in 1981. So yes, I'm dating myself, but I am showing the longevity of experience, knowledge, and personal realization of these situations that impact your business and your clients. What we did for your clients was that we made them whole. If they came to us and they stated, I'm not going on this trip, There were no cancellation penalties. The tour operator or cruise line gave me 100% refund. Now I want my premium refund. We made them whole. And in that respect, on the back end, we did not recall earned commissions with our account. What we did was we just kept them in a column as a negative and applied them to any future positive earnings, so that we never made any of our accounts write a check back to us for recalled commissions. But on the front end, the client was made whole. And that was the most important thing we did, was to institute good PR, because as we all know as partners, the client is the most important person in our business.
Perfect, Sharon. That was an amazing answer, and I know that was definitely something that I was interested in knowing, so thank you so much. With that said, I'm going to go ahead and announce our 4 amazing lucky winners. I want to reiterate that in order to win any prizes on Ask the Webinars, you must, of course, be logged in from the beginning of the end of the webinar in order to be eligible. So congratulations to everyone standing. And I also want to reiterate that we only hand out prizes to those who have registered with their travel email address. We just do this just to be sure that nobody is joining us from outside of the organization and just trying to win one of our amazing prizes, because that would not be fair to anybody. So, drum roll, please, Sharon.
Okay, let's do it.
All right. I also want to make everyone aware that I for sure do not play favoritism with last names. So if I butcher yours as I'm announcing it, I completely promise. So my first winner is going to be a Miss Diana Trifacante. Again, Miss Diana, I do apologize if I have missed a vowel in your last name. Next winner is going to be Kay Walker. Congratulations, Kay. Then we have Draylene Hughes, Draylene Red Hughes. And last but most certainly not least, Terry Fishker. And again, Terry, if there is a letter in your last name that's not pronounced, I do apologize, because I pronounced every single letter that I saw. So winners, I will be connecting you directly with Sharon and her team so that she can get those shipped over to you. And to everybody who has a question that wasn't so much for the good of the group, or that we may not have gotten to, which I think is only about 1 at this point, I will also be sending those over to Sharon so that she can reach out to you all. So thank you so very much for joining us on today's webinar. Sharon, do you have any closing last words for us?
All I want to say is, as I reiterated my past experience, is that we will all get through this, and we are true partners. And I wish you the best of luck and the most success going into 2021. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen.
Have a great rest of your morning or afternoon, everyone. Again, thank you so much for joining us. And Sharon, thank you again for the amazing presentation and following with me through the Q&A. You did an amazing job answering.
Thank you. You're welcome.